Okay, so what I wanted to show you here is how to do a little double turn hem. This is a really narrow hem going around the frill of the sleeve, and you can just see from this is linen, but you can just see from this bit that it gives it almost like this wavy effect on the linen, particularly because it's a curved, really quite a deep curve on this frill. So what we want is a really tiny hem, because obviously on a curve you can't do a deep hem and keep it neat. So just going to show you on this curvy scrap. So the first thing I've done is I have stitched a line, and I've moved my needle across, so I've gone in about 1/4 inch from the edge here, and this is going to give me my my marker, my turning line, if you like, for the first turn of the double fold that I'm going to do on this hem. Because once I've actually stitched it, what it will allow me to do is it's already kind of made the fabric know where it's going to go. So rather than hazarding a guess as you go, you can use this as your marker for how to get that first bit neat, and then the second roll is much easier. I've left long tails at the end here because I'm not going to pin it. What I am going to do is I'm just going to do the first inch. I folded it over once, going to fold it over again, and you can already see, look, it's coming out of sync, if you like, on that fold, but I am going to anchor that in under my, here we go, hand in front of the camera again, in front of my foot, and line it up. I'm going to line it up so that my needle is hitting the top here, okay, and I'm going to put the needle down, and I'm just going to do a couple of stitches along, because what I want to do is anchor that into place, okay, so that now I can work by pulling against the actual, I'm trying to do this so that you can see, so I'm pulling, let's go in closer and see if that gets my hand out of it. Oh, there we go. So that as I come round, I can pull and shape manipulate the fabric as I go. So I don't know if you can see slightly, if I lift it up, the line of the first stitching is just literally sitting on the top here, and as I stitch along, soon as I start to lose my curve, so look, you can see I'm coming off the curve here, I can then go back in and readjust and pull that curve slightly, and I'm using my nails, and apologies for the nail varnish girls, a lot here. The other thing that is really useful, which I can of course never find when I need it, is my stitch unpick, because that, oh, there it is. When you're doing something like this, you want to get in as close as possible, but without stitching your fingers. So sometimes using your unpicker like this, it's just going to hold that down to stop me getting, there would have been a little pleat there otherwise, okay, and I'm running around again, and now you can see, look, losing it again. So fold it over, tuck it over again, and then twiddle around, and it will take you a while to do. There is no two ways about this. It is quite a fiddly process, and it's not to be rushed. There are certain fabrics, I'm showing you this, I have to say this is one of the reasons I upgraded my overlocker, is because my original overlocker, even though it was still doing the job, didn't do a rolled hem, and it was something that I really wanted to be able to do on jersey fabrics and stuff like that. So I'm using my unpicker, as I say, to arrange and twiddle and fiddle There we go. A couple of stitches, and as you go round you'll find it will kind of ease off. So that bit was a little bit tricky because I probably went a little bit too far. So I'm going to use the unpicker again. I'm sliding that in so that I can just reshape, pull it into place. Okay, and hold that down as I stitch. Let's say hold it down here as I go through. And I'm just trying really hard not to get pleats in it. You might find that you'll get a few, especially on really deep curves as you start going, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it does get much easier, and you will get quicker. What you're doing here is fabric manipulation, really. You're forcing the fabric to behave in a way that it doesn't particularly want to behave. But if you look at what we've done back here, we've made that fabric curve, and the reason we've been able to do that is because it's so narrow. If it was any wider than that, we'd really be struggling. You can get, if I cut that and we have a little look, you can get rolled hem feet. Sorry while I scrabble around. There we go. Okay, this is what it looks like, and what you normally do is take the fabric in through here. Not sure if I'll be able to do it. The reason I haven't used this, number one, because not everyone's going to have one anyway, but also partly because I'm using linen. Linen does tend to fray an awful lot. I don't know if you can see that. That looks a little, let's come back out and take the light up. So what it's doing is sliding it in and rolling it as it goes round. But I do find sometimes with linen it doesn't quite work, because the linen tends to fray a lot. That wouldn't work quite as well as it does on some things, but you certainly can get them, and they just take a little bit of fiddling and twiddling. You can already see, look, there's a little bit of fraying coming out of there, so I don't know that that would have necessarily helped any, and I'm actually quite happy with the finish on there. Okay, so although you can get the rolled hem feet, we'll look at those later, because with some of the finer fabrics, some of the crepe de chines and things like that, the rolled hems, the hem of feet are really good. Okay,